I used to think all of that language was really cheesy. It was aversive to me, but now I have experienced that through like trial and error and feeling weird. But now I understand how that feels, and I'm sad that sometimes ACL gets a bad rep for not being like technical enough with our terms.
You are about to listen to part of a series where every month a member from our community shares with us a little about themselves, how they came to find out about the ACL Global Project, as well as what drives them to do the work that they do, and perhaps even a bit about their hopes and dreams. This is the ACL Member Spotlight series, and in today's episode we are featuring
Andressa Silveira,
I go by Andre. I'm 27 right now and a half. I feel like that's young, so I have to reinstate that it's and a half. I'm originally from Cruz Alta, which is a really tiny city in Brazil, but now I'm in Londrina. And part of what I do is I am a master's graduate student, so I study behavioral activation and trying to figure out better ways to train therapists to treat depression through a behavior analytic perspective. And with the other half of my time, I'm a psychotherapist. So I work with clients in a private practice, 100% online. And I do FAP therapy, ACT, and behavior activation, obviously, and other types of behavioral therapy that are more Brazilian originated in the mix that we make here so that we adapt all these models to our culture. And I have a dog that takes a lot of time. The first time that I came in contact with ACL project, I was watching these talks that we used to do in the pandemic. So everything went online and people were unsure of what was happening. This was 2020, so we didn't have the vaccine yet. And Professor Joselda, who you may know and everyone probably knows, was putting on a free talk on YouTube, connected to IBAC, which is the institute in Brasilia that you probably know me from. I used to watch everything that they put out for free, and that's what made me like want to pay them for education. Like, oh my God, you're doing this for everyone. And she started her talk with pictures of herself and her daughter and her pets and herself as a child, about her own feelings of not belonging and loneliness. She talked about her experience going from having one career that was really deficient in human connection and moving into FAP and psychology. And that was the most real I had ever seen a professor be. I was taken aback a little, and I was pulled forward at the same time. I was like, whoa. So it's possible to do this level of revealing of oneself is possible, and there's a reason for it. And the reason is that we're in a loneliness epidemic, and the only way we are going to fix that is if we truly connect. And the only way to truly connect is to be truthful and vulnerable. And then she ended the talk just inviting us to come to the project. And I was like, I'm writing an email to Mavis right now. And I was an undergrad student. I was 21. And I didn't expect her to tell me I could be a leader, but then she did. And she's like, we want to have you. And all of that made me feel valued in a way I never felt before studying. It made me feel warmth that I never had felt before. And it was healing for me at a personal and interpersonal level, and it made me a better therapist from then on. I had this movement towards being really like cold and introverted, kind of mean. Kindness and warmth was something that weirded me out, felt dangerous. I learned to name that after And then it felt powerful and something that I was good at and that was transformative. And I think a lot of people are in that space now. They are safe learning how to be a very technical professional, but then there's something missing and they know that. And then it's something that it's the name of a protocol I think that Mavis has, hearts breaking open. I used to think all of that language was really cheesy. It was aversive to me, but now I have experienced that through like trial and error and feeling weird. But now I understand how that feels, and I'm sad that sometimes ACL gets a bad rep for not being like technical enough with our terms. I have led one meeting that was from my chapter. We went and met at a park. It was the end of the pandemic. We had vaccines and masks and social distance in an open space. So that was one time. And then one time at an event I led with another chapter leader. We just made a kind of a crossover episode. What's interesting about doing it in a park in person on a Sunday was a lot of people came that we weren't expecting because they were hanging out right before with a friend that was coming, and the friend was like, "Hey, let's go with me." And I don't even have to explain to you what it is because you don't have to like log in, sign up, or anything. We're going to talk about the agreements there in person. So that's what we did, and it was interesting because it had that openness to it, and I think it was like the time most people attended, like most number of people attended. Online though, there's another thing that I like a lot, and that is people aren't expecting, as much as they read like the intro and they sign up, they aren't expecting that they will connect with a stranger online. And often people who are at their homes and they're just getting in from work or from school or in between tasks, and they make time to be at a meeting, just clicking a button. They don't like take a bus or taxi and travel somewhere to go, because they wouldn't have the time to go somewhere in person. Or sometimes we're connecting people from, we have had meetings online with people from like all the 5 different regions of Brazil. And if you look at Brazil on a map, it's a continental country, and people are like, I can't believe you're there and you're like touching my heart all the way over here, and we haven't known each other before, and I want to tell my friends about this. So I think that element, when we do it online, we're able to reach people that in some ways need it the most. Because chances are, if you're going with your friend to the park, you're already socially connected. But if you have nobody to go out to, but somebody sends you a link and you talk to someone that's also feeling lonely and understands you, that's like step 1. They're both important, and I see that it's less likely if I invite a friend that I know in real life with a link that they will show up for a video call. But someone who is lonely will sign up because they're curious and they yearn for a community, and they might be too shy to show up alone. So culturally in Brazil, it's weird if you show up alone, like in person to something. It's not weird if you just log on. So I think depending on where you are, that might be a factor. Like, it's not common for someone here to go alone to the movies or to dine out alone. Or like, I know that in America there are like speed dating events, and that's just not common here. There's actually a meme. Is it freedom or is it loneliness if someone is sitting alone at any space? So there's a stigma around like, oh, people are going to see that I have no friends. What is the strong value or conviction you have that you're willing to make sacrifices for? And I was trying to answer that, and I felt like a weird feeling about it. And then I Googled like the dictionary meaning of the word sacrifice. And there is a very, I don't know, soft meaning to it. It's like something that you will not prioritize with respect to doing something else that's important. That's a sacrifice. But the first definition of sacrifice is to kill. It's to kill an animal or human being as offering. So that's a sacrifice, right? I know that there's the other type of sacrifice, which is the common when you ask me, will I do a sacrifice, you don't mean will I kill a baby. You mean, well, will you not have soda for a week, or like the Easter fast, whatever. But being who I am, I see sacrifice and I'm like, so I'm not willing to make a sacrifice. I am not willing to kill off something that's important because something else is. And I think that's something that we need to be talking about, because we have grown so accustomed to talk about making sacrifices in this euphemistic way, like a softer way, like, oh, every parent sacrifices for their child. You have to sacrifice to get a good job. It literally means to kill. And I think that we're past that as a society. So I'm trying to look at what this question wants to ask with language, like, what are my strong values and convictions that I need to blend together? And in terms of sacrifice, because it's not possible to blend everything together, sometimes we have to make choices, right? So I tend to think, what is a strong value and conviction? What is something important to me that I'm willing to put in the effort towards? Because, and then from a behavioral analytic perspective, my ability to put in effort is materially limited. I only have 24 hours in a day, and then I have to sleep to behave. So if I'm here talking with you, I'm not doing anything else at this time. So when I think about what am I willing to put effort, you could turn it around and say, well, but you're sacrificing that other thing. But I'm choosing to make more evident what I'm putting effort towards, that is my value. And that might be a more psychologically flexible way to get people to think of what's important than to focus on the punishing aspect of it, which is what you're sacrificing. But we do have to deal with sacrifices. There are parts of us, unfortunately, that die, that we kill. But I just like to think, what do you want to put the effort towards? And then you have to accept the things that you're not. But I don't know if that's just my personal avoidance, that I don't want to really look at the things that I sacrifice, but I like to think, well, what am I working towards? So that's one question that I spent a lot of time arguing with the walls about. Professionally, no one wants to hear this, but this kind of speaks with the other question that I said would be short and sweet. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And to think that I'm willing to put effort towards, they're kind of the same. Like, I'm willing to sacrifice things for having a family someday. Uh, and yeah, I'm not trying to really give that much more to work or to self-development or to a cause. I kind of just want to be a mom someday. And I would sacrifice my career for that. Like, literally sacrifice my career for that if it came to it. I hope it doesn't, but I don't know that I would be able to be a working mom because it's such a hard job. I don't think I have the energy to do both. So I think I would have to choose. Yeah, so I hope people get everything professionally they need from me before that. I don't want us to like end, and I don't think we're going to sustain this community on a subscription basis alone. I think like 1% might be subscribed, but like 99% of people involved need to get something out of it for free, and then we need like funding from different organizations. It's offered free, someone will be funding it, but then to fund it we need to have products, and initiatives and get social media, or we're not going to do it. And I really like that you have all created a space for us who have been here for a while, who have gone through the trainings, that we feel like it's ours. So I just noticed there's no place I would feel comfortable saying what I'm just saying and be like, this is our community, I don't want us to lose it, instead of thinking, oh, it's yours. It's like the board's problem. And that just made me emotional, because I feel like it could be arrogant in a way, but it's not. It's really, it comes from a place of, oh, this is my baby too. I want to see it succeed.
That was Andresa Silveira, and this is the ACL Member Spotlight series, where every month we feature another one of our outstanding members of the Awareness, Courage, and Love Global Project. We hope you enjoyed this talk, and we encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Doing so will not only keep you informed of when we feature our next Member Spotlight, but also help us toward our goal of becoming monetized so that we can continue developing and bringing you this type of content.